gentlemen, welcome to the Slovenian Wines Tasting Evening. I'm very proud that tonight Slovenia is represented in Prague by more than 100 winemakers, tourism workers and representatives of food companies. Thus, this evening is an opportunity to get to know the flavors of Slovenia from the hands of those who create them. Slovenia is located at the crossroads of different climates, soils and cultures, which is why Slovenian wines are not only distinguished by their high quality, but also by their diversity. So among 374 wines on the show today, you are sure to find what you are looking for and discover many new things that will delight you. Finally, yet importantly, you will have the opportunity to taste some typical Slovenian local products and foods, some of which are also labeled by European quality schemes. Dear friends, this evening is truly a warm invitation to visit Slovenia. I am now pleased to introduce Mr. Valentin Bufulin, Best Sommelier of Slovenia and the President of Slovenian Sommelier Association, and invite him to take us briefly through the story of Slovenian winemaking. Please, Mr. Bufulin, the floor is yours.
Thank you for such a kind invitation. Thank you also for organizing such an amazing event. And good evening and heartfelt welcome to everyone. So, in terms of Slovenia, I would mostly invite all of you to taste the wine and let the wines speak to you, the story of Slovenia. But to go really shortly, Slovenia is a land of many faces, of many differences, and of many stories that are all intricated into a single one. Slovenia is a small country, but you know, in Slovenia you can ski in the morning and jump in the sea in the evening. So, you know, but this is beautiful because this tells you also the story of wine. On one side, on the eastern side, you have a bit more of a cooler climate where more Rieslings and Sauvignon Blancs are common, whereas on the littoral side, close to the sea, you will find amazing whites, but also red wines. So on this upper side, you will have the winemakers from the region Primorska, and on the floor below, you have winemakers from the region Podravje and Posavje. Overall, we have approximately 15,000 hectares of vineyards, 9 winemaking districts divided into 3 winemaking regions. So a very varied array of wines, and I think the selection is really amazing. So I really wouldn't like to go much into details, but if you have any questions, I'm here. I will be more than glad to present you some of the wineries, to present you some of the country, but most of all, this is an evening for you to taste, to see, to learn, and to enjoy. So thank you, enjoy the evening, and please don't forget, we are in 2 floors, so we have Primorska above, and Dolenska and Posavje below. So enjoy and thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Bufulin. Thank you all for coming. Please enjoy the evening.
Expressions of our wines now at the guided tasting. But there are so many amazing wines and wineries and winemakers today with us. So I really heartfully suggest you have the time. You visit them after our official part, speak with them. Unfortunately, we couldn't include all of the wines that are here today, only a small part of the reality that Slovenia is.
Dobrý den, já bych vás tady také chtěla přivítat, já budu mluvit česky a já jsem nejenom milovnice Slovenska.
The geology of Slovenia, so that you understand a little of this very picturesque countryside that we have, you should know that you can actually ski the same day as you can jump in the sea in the afternoon. So Slovenia is very small, we have only 2 million inhabitants, but we can offer you really a wide Mediterranean impact coming from the sea. Whereas on Slovenian eastern side, you have more of a continental climate, which is bringing more of a steady weather, more of a regulated weather, which is also a little bit, the geology gets a little bit how to say, flatter because there was the Badonian Sea. So, if we move on, we actually are, so Slovenia is divided into 3 different wine areas, wine regions. And because of the climatic aspect I was mentioning before, we have 2 of the regions which fall under the wine zone B, which is more on the cooler side. And on the other side, on the west of Slovenia, you have the impact of the Mediterranean Sea. So there you will have more warmth, more sun, more maybe climate that is more adaptive for red wines. So, you know, but it's a geology that really is complex, and it's better to taste it with our glasses. So let's move on forward, and let's start with the Podravska wine region, or Podravje as we say it. Podravje is composed of 2 wine regions, or wine districts. We have Zamuri, or Podravje, which is among the smallest ones, 430 hectares, and 5,400 hectares of Štajerska Slovenia, or Slovenian Styria. It used to be composed of more several districts, but they united it under one. So this region is graced by cool climate, and this expresses also in the wine. Moving on, if we move a little bit south, we come to the Posavje region. They are named after the river. So we have Drava River and we have Sava River. This is how they got the name. And it's composed of 3 districts. We have Bizeljsko-Sremić, which ages ago used to fall under Slovenian Styria even. We found books mentioning that. Then we have the Dolenska region, which is the biggest district here, and the Bela Krajina, which is among the smallest one. And this is maybe a very different one compared to the other ones. And then if we move to the Primorska region, well, this is where I come from, so it's a bit more of my heart-warmed country, but still, we have Gorička Brda, we have Vipava Valley, we have Karst or Krast, and Slovenian Istria. So 4 wine districts. But if we move on, you should look also at the landscaping. It's really interesting that when we are close to the sea, so in Primorje, we have terraced vineyards. Whereas if we move to the Podravje and Posavje, there are more vertical wines. And what is really interesting is the steepness of the vineyards. Because if you look at it, you see that there are some vineyards that have also about 60 degrees of inclination. So imagine the heroic winemakers and all the efforts they need to do to really harvest the grapes. So if we start with the wine region Podravje, we can, of course, say something about the Podravska region of Zamuri, 430 hectares of vineyards. It's a more cooler continental climate, and of course the grapes are planted on southern exposures. This is a picture, actually, what she was telling you before. So this is the oldest wine-producing vine in the world. It has more than 400 years. And one of the vines is actually planted also on the castle here in the city. Yes. So this is really like a patrimony of the world. And it's still producing wine. So, and it's the variety is blue velvet, or as we call it, žametna črnina. But we need to start first with the sparkling wine you have in the glass, and it's actually a penina. Penina, it's a name. Unfortunately, we cannot call it penina because, you know, if you combine all wines from 3 different regions, then it's just sparkling wine. But why I like this wine, because it really expresses a lot of character in it. It's a 2017, and it's called Eko. Eko Benečevino Trepežel. So it's a vintage wine. It has only 1.5 residual sugar, so it's brut nature. And it did a lot of aging sur release, so expect more of this autolytic character to the wine.
delší ležení na
Moving on to the region Posavie. So Posavie is named after river Sava. And this is a really interesting region because it can offer a lot. It's a very varied region. So you have the Bizeljsko-Sremić, which is on the border with Croatia, so it's more on the hilly side. Dolenjska also can extend up to the border with Croatia. It's more on a flatter, but the best wines and best positions are coming from steep slopes. And this is where we hide a special wine, or this is where a special wine is born, and it's named Cviček. We have the Cviček Queen with us. It's in floor number 1. It's a special wine which deserves a little bit of your attention because we are proud to have it. And it's like a combination of, it's grown basically combining white and red grapes. It has low alcohol, it's between 8 to 10 degrees of volumes of alcohol, but it's renowned for its crispiness and for its freshness. And it's an amazing wine to combine, especially if you have some pork meat. So like, you know, they have this they are famous also for making the grilled pork, and with the combination of Cviček, it's amazing because the acidity can really wash away the fattiness of the meat. So it's very fruity, very light, crisp, an amazing wine also in the warm days. But you should know that this is also the region of especially Bizeljsko-Sremić hides couple of wines that have the name PTP. And we will taste one wine. PTP is a designation of autochthonous wines. So, like, you know, think of it as a DOC in Italy or DAC in Austria. So it has a special appellation. So it's like the wine can be produced following this and this regulation, and it can only get this if it passes through a special tasting. And we move to, so this is Bela Krajina. Bela Krajina is the smallest wine district in Slovenia.
Já jenom k tomu ještě dovysvětlím, i když my se k tomu dostaneme určitě ještě.
History from 1809, and so we focus on indigenous varieties, and today we'll try Zelen, which is also indigenous variety from Vipava Valley, and it grows in a flysch soil. Its name actually means green, and we make it fresh, so this is vintage 2023. And a little bit of cold maceration, and then only in stainless steel, so we keep its variety characteristics.
Hello, we are again with Olja Dosmica here on the show for the Poslaništvo, and we have some new products. We try to present a new kind of cheese, which is 30 meters under the ground in the Slovenia Valley. We have 6 different kinds of cheese, which one young guy produced for us. And we offer today truffles, because Slovenia is also land of truffle, and we have full of products about truffle, olive oil, and also seafood. This year, the Gregor, and also the novitet is seafood from Gregor Podrzaj, which is the owner and who built alone.
Raste najbližje morju. Ovo je kiselina.